Hi, I'm Anthony Smith, market expert and economist here at FreightWaves, and today we're going to look at the PPI, or the Producer Price Index, and we're going to look at the outbound tender rejections in our own internal Sonar software platform. And so, quick overview on the Producer Price Index. It generally measures the price changes that producers receive. So when producer prices go up, in a broad-based economic growth, we see those prices being passed on to the consumer. In times of economic contraction, a lot of times these producers might decide to eat those costs because they are trying to maintain margins and market share. Now, when we're looking at the PPI here for general freight trucking, we see that the latest numbers in August was generally flat. We also see this, for example, in this orange line here, we have a pretty close relationship in times of spikes when there's a upward movement for the PPI, and the yellow line, and upward movement for the refrigerated outbound tender rejections, which is here in the orange line. Now, what that's telling us is, for example, here we have this spike in July. This is generally known as produce season here. There's a spike in spot market rates because capacity is really tightening up for those drivers, for those producers. And so we see the upward movement and the rejections that tells us that capacity is tight, increasing prices, and so that's really going to drive up what we see here in the PPI for general freight trucking as well. And so when we see that there's this close relationship tied to each other, we see that our own internal Sonar indices here can really become a leading indicator for the PPI, or the producer prices that we can expect in the coming month. And one of the examples here is that we see here is with our 3 outbound tender rejections indicators. One of the really cool things is that because it leads on a daily basis and it leads those monthly outputs, we can really see what's going to happen here in the fourth quarter, or going into the fourth quarter. And so what we're seeing right now is some upward movement here in this orange line, as I mentioned, the refrigerated outbound tender rejections. And that's telling us that we can probably expect some upward movement going into the fourth quarter for when we're looking at capacity and spot market prices, as capacity really starts to tighten up going into the next month and really over onto the fourth quarter. So this is something that we're going to monitor closely in the coming months, in the coming weeks, and as we close out the end of the year, especially as tariff uncertainties seem to change, modulate on a day-to-day basis. But we will be sure to keep you updated here at FreightWaves Now.